All right, let's bring in Jeff Weaver now, the campaign manager with Senator Bernie Sanders. And people are looking at what Jeff Weaver has done along with Bernie Sanders and saying they're going to be writing about their accomplishments in political books for years to come, from nowhere to giving Hillary Clinton the fight for her life. First off, Jeff, thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be here. Happy to be here. All the credit really goes to the senator. I mean, we have an honest messenger who has a message that's resonating with the people across this country, and that's why this campaign has been so successful.
Well, you know what, Jeff? A lot of people, though, feel that the DNC, in the form of Debbie Wasserman Schultz, has been favoring Hillary Clinton over the senator's message. And there are a bunch of stories out this morning that say that a number of powerful Democrats anonymously are talking behind the scenes about, we got to get rid of her before the convention, because how can she open the convention? Because the Bernie people are going to just go nuts that she's been favoring Hillary over Bernie. Do you feel that way?
Well, I do feel certainly that the process has not been fair as administered by Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I have to say that it is not everybody at the DNC. We have very good relationships with many people at the DNC. I have conversations with high-level DNC people on a regular basis. And, you know, I think there are a lot of people also at the DNC who have been very put off by the way in which Debbie Wasserman Schultz has run this whole thing. You know, whether it was the cramped debate schedule at the beginning, whether it was shutting Senator Sanders off from his own data back right before the Iowa caucuses, and on, you know, there's a number of examples.
Jeff, I read this morning something that said that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was working against Bernie Sanders for personal reasons, and that quote was, tagged to you. Why do you feel that she was doing it for personal reasons?
Well, I just think she became personally involved in this. You know, we went beyond politics. I think it became very personal for her, and you know, she has lashed out at the campaign, as I said, on a number of occasions. These joint fundraising agreements, which took money from state parties and gave it to the DNC, or the latest, the standing committees at the convention, where they tried to keep the Sanders people off. There's just been example after example, and I think it has become sort of personal, and I think that's really unfortunate, because really Democrats should be working together to bring the party together after the convention, that's for sure.
All right, what did you make of Hillary Clinton saying that she's not going to participate in the debate, the Fox News debate? You know, she said, I'm going to debate 3 times during the primary season, and this would be her 3rd opportunity. She's now saying she doesn't want to debate in California, yet Bernie Sanders said he would entertain that idea as well as Donald Trump.
Sure. Well, look, I mean, this debate is not out of nowhere. Back when we were in New Hampshire and Senator Sanders was way ahead of Secretary Clinton, the Clinton campaign said, we want to have a debate in New Hampshire, an unscheduled, previously unscheduled debate. And we said, that's fine, as long as you'll do 3 subsequent debates. And they agreed. And there are quotes all in the newspapers from the time from Clinton, high-level Clinton people agreeing that we'll have 3 more debates,
so you
including one in May,
California. So you agreed on that debate based on her agreeing to these 3, and now she's not coming through with her promise? Exactly.
So that's why it's such a big concern, is that they got their half of the bargain, and now they're not following through on their obations under the agreement they reached. So look, the people in California deserve a debate. The rest of the people, people in other states who haven't voted yet, they deserve a debate.
Is she afraid of Fox or afraid of Bernie?
Well, I'm not going to go into people's motivations. I think they feel like it's best for their campaign not to have a debate at this time. But the problem is that they agreed to it back before the New Hampshire primary in order to get us to agree to a previously unscheduled debate there. So, you can't promise one thing and then not deliver. I mean, it's now time to pay the bill, sort of, for having the debate back in New Hampshire.
So, Jeff, overall, the message is, okay, I'm in first. I want to move on to Donald Trump, so I'm not going to worry about Bernie Sanders. But in the big picture, Bernie Sanders is pushing up for a form of government, and the Sanders campaign, that has not had really any success in France, if you look at the socialists there, and you look at the socialism in Venezuela. How would you characterize Bernie Sanders' socialism as opposed to Venezuela and France's socialism?
Well, what Bernie Sanders is pushing for is a sort of social democratic policies. I mean, if you look at Canada, they have a single-payer health care system guaranteeing health care to all people at substantially lower cost than we do. Most European countries offer tuition-free public colleges and universities
but their
for
economy
their
is flat on
students.
its back, Jeff. Europe is a mess.
Well, if I listen to Fox Business News, that would be the same thing here, but which I don't necessarily think is true. But what I would say to you is that in those countries, people have a social contract which says all the wealth and income is not going to go to the top. It's not going to be as unequal and unfair as it is currently here. We need to have a process to deal with this rigged economy, to put money back in the pockets of middle income and working people in this family. And that's what Bernie Sanders is
right.
advocating.
He doesn't like capitalism.
All right. Hey, Jeff, before you go, just a quick extra question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much pressure are you getting from Democrats and party officials to drop out?
1 being the low, so it would be a 1. There really is not a lot. I mean, there are a few people out in the media, but in terms of any kind of real effort, it's probably 0. Really, is more like it.
Wow, not what you read in the papers. All right, Jeff Weaver.
Yeah, right, exactly. Don't believe everything you read in the papers.
Exactly, indeed. Jeff Weaver joined us from the Bernie Sanders campaign up in Vermont.
Jeff.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on. We hope you'll come back.
I would love to do that.